Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report coming at you here right now. We're going to go ahead and get into the Raiders draft grades so far. So what we're going to do, we're going to break down the Raiders draft grades from rounds 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to include the Davante Adams trade. We're also going to talk about who the Raiders went ahead and they drafted at pick number 90 overall. Yes, there was a trade that ended up going down. I wouldn't be able to do today's show, and I definitely would not be awake right now if it wasn't for the awesome products over at Panda Sups. Y'all can save 35% off and by just simply going to pandasups.com. That's it. Just use code DRAFT at checkout. We're going to hook you guys up. And if you're just trying to be a healthier individual, maybe let's just say, hypothetically speaking, I don't know, the past 2 days of your job, you've been drinking a lot of Fireball, having some beer boots, take a scoop of greens instead. You're going to be able to boost that metabolism. You're going to be able to boost your overall immune system. It's going to help you out a lot. So what we're doing here is we're going to look at all the Raiders trades that have gone down, not only just on round 3 on day 2 of the 2022 NFL Draft. We're going to go ahead and we're going to revisit the Davante Adams trade, knowing now who the Green Bay Packers went ahead and drafted, because I said a few days ago, I said yesterday, when you look at the Adams trade now, it tells me that the Raiders are even bigger winners than what they originally were. So the trade that ended up going down, and I remember I'm sitting up here on our live show on the Raiders Report, Jeremy Chugs and I were breaking it down. We're wondering, who are the Raiders going to go ahead and pick at 86? And then all of a sudden, there is a little bit of an update. And the Raiders, they go ahead, they make a trade with the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, they go ahead, they trade up to pick number 86. The Las Vegas Raiders take number 90 and take 169. What's very interesting about this is the Tennessee Titans, they go ahead, they select Malik Willis. So hearing that the Raiders go ahead, and they're like, all right, we'll take the step back here. We need an extra pick. So going into the draft, the Raiders had only 5 picks. You add an extra pick. Now the Raiders have 90, which has already been off the board. Dylan Parham, the guard from Memphis, also at 126. 164, 165, 169, and then 227 from top to bottom. So, what I want to know from everyone who is watching right now, think about that trade and let me know who won the deal. If you believe that the Las Vegas Raiders went ahead and they won that trade, type LV down in the comments section. If you think it's the Tennessee Titans, then hey, you can go ahead and type TEN. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Raiders, they won the trade. Do I think that Malik Willis is the better player than Parham? Yes. Yes, I do. However, the Raiders were able to add an extra 5th-round pick. So what you have now is some versatility in the 5th round at 164, 165, 169. Could you potentially see the Silver and Black now trade up into round 4? Because there's some halfway decent talent that is sliding down the board in this year's draft. When you look at the scouting report here for Dylan Parham, the offensive guard / versatile lineman out of Memphis, it's a good athlete overall. He definitely has some positional flexibility. He's played right tackle. He's played left guard. He's played right guard. The way that I see him fitting in with the Raiders is probably being on that right side of the offensive line. Now, sure, when you look at the power is something that I want to see, but I like technique. Versatility, solid technique. You combine that with the Raiders offensive line coach of Carmen Brasillo, and this ends up being a pretty good pick. According to Tom Downey, he had him rated as his overall prospect of 84. Raiders took him at 90. That's pretty damn good to me. Tom looks at him as a center. I see him as more of an offensive guard here for the Silver and Black. Only 23 years old. He's 6'2", 311 pounds. Started 12 games last season for the Tigers. Did not allow a single sack. And considering the fact of this Raiders' entire offensive line, you got to remember, Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, they're not committed long-term to realistically anybody on this roster besides the guys that they go ahead and they make trades for, the guys that they make extensions for, the guys that they draft right now. So considering the fact you're going to look at some of these combine pro days and numbers, there's going to be a lot of people out there like, oh, the Raiders, they did it again. An offensive line pick is never really a sexy pick, and I use that term a lot. But coming into this draft, the biggest need for the Raiders was the offensive line. Essentially what you're doing here is you're trying to be able to find a player that's got that versatility to make sure that you're winning in the trenches, because you can have Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Davante Adams, Josh Jacobs. You can have all these amazing skill position players. If you can't block, it's not worth a damn. So go down to the comment section right now. Let's grade the pick of Dylan Parham, the offensive lineman from Memphis. A, you absolutely love the pick. B, it's good. C, it's average. D, it's bad. F, you effing hated it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a C+ grade. Again, it's not sexy, but it is a good pick. What you're going to see now, the Raiders, if they want to, you can go ahead, you can put him at left guard. They're not committed long-term to Andre James. This organization or this coaching staff, this regime is not the regime that went ahead and they gave Andre James that 3-year extension worth $12.6 million last season. They're not the regime that went ahead and they selected Alex Leatherwood in the first round. They did bring back Brandon Parker. They did bring back Jermaine Illuminor. So I am giving this a C+ grade, but this show is built on the backs of Raider Nation. I had a lot of fun tonight on our live show, and I know a lot of people that tuned in as well had a good time, and I've already gone on Twitter. I've seen on Instagram. I've seen all the social media reactions, and there's going to be people who don't really watch the tape. He's a good player, and what the Raiders said that they were going to do was take the best player available. It's not the best player on my board. It's not the best player on Tom Downey's board. But after seeing what Dave Ziegler, what Josh McDaniels, what this organization has done this entire offseason, the measurables aren't phenomenal. I'm going to trust this. I'm just going to trust them, right? I didn't think that a Davante Adams trade was going to happen. I didn't think a lot of the moves that the Raiders were going to be able to pull off were going to be able to happen. However, the Raiders made a few moves, ended up going down. So now John Simpson's going to be competing for an offensive line spot. Denzel Good's going to be coming off his ACL injury. I understand the report that he's 95% there. But what you find right now are people that are going to compete on the interior offensive line. Alex Leatherwood's been listed as a right tackle, right guard. Maybe they try to kick him out over there. You can see right now I have him on the depth chart behind Leatherwood. But you have Good, Andre James, Leatherwood, Parham, John Simpson. They are all going to be battling it out as far as I'm concerned to be a starting lineman. He might not start right away, but the good technique, maybe he could be somebody down the line that could just be a halfway decently reliable offensive lineman for the Raiders. Now, if you guys bleed silver and black, I don't want you to actually find out if you bleed silver or black, but you know what? This is the old saying, the wound to the tomb, and if you are a diehard Raider fan, you're not going to find better coverage on YouTube. Hell, better coverage out there in the world than what the Raiders Report has been able to provide y'all. You get a video every single day. Not only are we live on YouTube, we're also live on Rumble. We're keeping you guys up to date no matter what happens around the Raiders. So if they make a few more trades tomorrow, I got you guys covered. So turn on those notifications. Hit that big old red button that says subscribe, because I'll tell you what, man, I would appreciate it. And we're going to be rocking and rolling tomorrow on the Raiders Report for the NFL Draft. Day 3. Day 3 is kind of a weird day, but you know what? We have a lot of fun. So, Trace, just send me full screen. The other thing that we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about here is the Davante Adams trade, because you have to talk about that when you look at the NFL Draft. When you look at the draft for the Raiders, did they have a first-round pick? No. Did they have a second-round pick? No. But you know what? They got this guy named Davante Adams, and he's the best damn wide receiver in the National Football League. Then you go ahead, you look at what happened in the first round. All the receivers that went off the board early: Drake London, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jamison Williams, Jahad Dotson went at 16. Jordan Davis wasn't available. Trevor Penning wasn't available. So you're considering the fact that pick number 22, who the hell were the Raiders going to take? I like Quay Walker. He's a good player. That's who the Green Bay Packers ended up going with. But when you look at the fact that the Packers took Quay Walker, then they packaged picks 53 and 59 to trade up and get Christian Watson. If I were to tell y'all that Quay Walker and Christian Watson would be what it takes to get Davante Adams, you'd be like, Mitch, put down the fireball, go get some water, and take a few snaps off. Well, guess what? The Raiders were able to go ahead and do it, which is why I'm going to come up here and say the Raiders easily won this trade. But you know what? it's my job to ask y'all what you think here. So who won the Davante Adams trade? Essentially, it's Davante Adams for Quay Walker and Christian Watson. Christian Watson, fun receiver, 6'4", 200-pounder out of North Dakota State. Quay Walker, good linebacker out of Georgia. They're not Davante Adams. So if you're watching this right now, go down to the comments section right now. Start spamming Raiders down there in the comments. And in terms of Panda Supps products, all we need to talk about are the greens, because the greens are what's keeping me afloat right now. And in terms of why should somebody go out and get the greens are going to make sure that you are happy and you are healthy. So all you got to do is go ahead and go to pandasupps.com. You're going to be able to find high-quality supplements, 35% off. It's code DRAFT. Code DRAFT, 35% off at Panda Supps. One of the reasons why I love the greens out there, it's going to boost your metabolism. I take a scoop every single morning. You get the immune boost that comes with it. I'm looking right now on Panda Supps' website. No artificial sweeteners, no artificial flavors, no artificial colors, organic ingredients. It's vegan friendly. I use Panda Supps products every single day, and you guys can too. It's pandasupps.com. Code DRAFT at checkout, 35% off. So again, the Raiders, they go ahead, they select Dylan Parham here, the offensive lineman from Memphis. He's a very impressive overall prospect with some potential flexibility along the offensive line, good leverage. You combine him, and then you could go ahead and combine what they got in Davante Adams. So what we're going to go through now is we're going to look at some of Tom Downey's best available players. Perrion Winfrey still on the board. He's my number one guy as well, defensive tackle from Oklahoma. The position that you see in parentheses, or I guess I should say the number, is where Tom Downey has him ranked in terms of overall players. Darion Kennard, Tariq Woolen, Jamar Salyer as well. I'm actually not as high as Jamar Salyer, but Tariq Woolen would be a very intriguing prospect if the Raiders could go ahead and get their hands on him in the final day of the draft. Now, guys, I am going to be getting ready to get the hell out of here. We've been here a very long time at Chat Sports, and I hope you guys join me, Jeremy Chugs, and the entire Chat Sports team tomorrow for our Day 3 coverage of the NFL Draft. The Raiders in Round 4 have picked 126. In Round 5, they got 164, 165, 169. No picks in Round 6. And then at 227 in Round 7. It's going to be wild tomorrow. It gets a little bit crazy because we are a little bit sleep deprived. But you know what wakes me up? Solid Raiders picks and Raider Nation getting down with me. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, and I'll see y'all bright and early tomorrow.